So stoked to have you here, man. So stoked. I can't even. I can't even. Shit is too good, man. Hope you guys are doing good, man. It is a Monday, September 11th, an ominous day, man. What do you guys think? Was it an inside job, or is the typical narrative? Is that really what happened? Throw some up in the chat. Give me a hello. Give me a number one. Tell me where you're at. What's up, Prince? What's up, Fazan? To Saitman, VA White. Oh, Gomar Baz in Iran, dude. What is up, brother? Happy to see you, dude. Man, Iran is actually our number one viewer of scientific wrestling by huge margins, which means a lot to me because that is a straight up wrestling culture. I appreciate you guys. Hope you had a killer weekend. I had a great one. Legi Vekul. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry. Madge is in Salem, but Legiv Cool asked, excuse me, I've asked you before, but what is that catch gym that's in Orlando? Grappling Mastery, man. Get out there, Grappling Mastery. Brian Ruscio, guy's a stud. Get out there. You can find him on Instagram at Scientific Wrestling USA is his handle. He is one hell of a good grappler, man. Catch Jedi, what's up? CWO, got a number one. Thank you, sir. Happy to see all you guys out there today. What are we talking about? I'm talking about adversity, man. Talking about it. I had a great, what's up, Faizan Ahmad? Love from Kashmir. Dude, so cool. I can't believe the reach. I love the internet, dude. I reach everybody. I'm like, got my tentacles, scientific wrestling expanding everywhere. Happy to see all you guys. I appreciate you spending your time with us today. So today I wanted to talk, from adversity to number one, right? A journey of resilience, of legends, and of passion, honestly. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk about. So bear with me because I got a little sentimental this weekend. It's been a fantastic week. Gomar Baz, wrestling in my soul. Me too, brother. It's like greatest thing ever. That business, entrepreneurship and wrestling, the greatest combo of personal development ever devised. So today we're going to talk really not just about my story. We're going to, of course, have to talk about it because that's really what I can talk about best is my own experience. But other athletes, other legends, other business titans, that have really made a difference, made a dent in the universe, right? So what I really want to drive home is the importance of determination, of grit, of resilience. You guys have got to be tough. You've got to be tough, man. You want to be number one, you got to fight. Guys, be sure to throw up any comments in the chat. I'd love to chat with you guys. You got any questions? But I'm going to get rolling here, right? So growing up, for me, I really had a very lonely childhood. I don't know how many of you guys ever would consider your childhood lonely, but I had a very lonely childhood. I was an only child, and I was in broken homes. So I was an only child, but then my parents would get married and then divorced, and then remarried and divorced and to different people. And I understand that people have a challenge with marriage, especially in today's modern age. But I also want you guys to understand, that had a heavy impact on me as a child. I'd start forming bonds with step siblings or with step parents, and then all of a sudden the next day they're gone and I can't talk to them. So it was kind of brutal. Moved around a ton, so I was lonely, right? But where does the adversity come in? Because being lonely, that's not that big of a deal. Well, by the time I was 16, not only had I earned my black belt, which was really cool, however, I had also suffered from, I'd been through gangrene poisoning, nearly killed me, cancer, chemo, radiation, multiple surgeries, all by the time I was 16. Okay. So, it's one of those things where there's some sort of weird parallel. And I posted about this, and maybe I'll read a little bit about it today. You can go to my social media, Ask Coach Jake, at Ask Coach Jake if you're on Instagram, or just me, Jake Shannon, on Facebook. And I talked about Sean Strickland. By the way, congratulations to Sean Strickland winning the middleweight UFC. He was a total underdog. And somebody asked him something, and basically it was like, to come from your adversities to where you are now. And he's like, yeah, thanks, childhood trauma. Thanks, abusive parents. You made me into the man I am today. And there's a lot of truth to that. And I want to talk about that a little bit. So, somebody like Michael Jordan, dude, he was cut. He was this is crazy. He was cut from his high school basketball team and went on to become the greatest ever, right? So you cannot let your setbacks define you, right? You've got to find strength in the adversity, in the discipline of overcoming. Overcoming is what life is about, in my opinion. So by 16, I'd beaten cancer, had surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, beaten gangrene, grew up in broken homes, alone, had some brushes with abuse from step parents, made it to college, got a scholarship to go to University of Colorado. I was the first one. My parents were very blue collar. Neither one was able to get into college. So I get in and graduate somehow. And I had big dreams, man. I was at UFC 2 in Denver in 1994. Changed my life. I was in judo at the time. So I got my black belt, got sick, got hammered. I tried out for the wrestling team, tried out for the track. I couldn't even do track. Not a diss on track athletes. I mean, it's hard. But, dude, I couldn't even do track. So I was hammered. Recovered, got back better, started going to judo at the YMCA. Fantastic. Fell in love with judo. It was so cool. In 1994, a guy named Burned Bush was the black belt I learned with back then, a U.S. Senior National Champion. Fantastic guy. UFC 2 happens, and I got tickets. And me and my roommate went to see this in 1994. Changed my life. Changed everything. So, I graduated the next year. It was kind of cool timing. I graduated. First thing I did, my dreams were bigger than the Rocky Mountains, so I had to get the hell out of here. I had to go to California because it was the only place where you could actually go practice or learn this stuff. So, I think of somebody like Walt Disney, man. Guy rolled into Hollywood with $40 in his pocket. That's it. That's how I was. I was 22. I had no money. My dad helped me pack my shit into a U-Haul. We drove, moved to California. Okay? Busted my ass. I was poor as shit. Worked really hard. Worked like 3, sometimes 4 minimum wage jobs all at the same time. Grinded because I didn't have a safety net. I didn't have a trust fund. I didn't have any of that. So I just grinded. But by the time I was 30, man, I was doing something. So I moved there at 22. And by the time I was 30, I had earned my master's degree in financial mathematics. Crazy. Who'd have thought I'd ever do that? I just got sick of being poor. When I moved to California, I wanted to figure out 2 things. When I started college, University of Colorado Boulder, by the way, CU Buffs, oh my God, did you guys watch that game against Nebraska? Holy, that was unreal, man. Deion Sanders, I really am taking serious being a coach. Right now, that's where I am in my phase of my life. And to see somebody like Deion Sanders, it's like watching a maestro, man. Just to totally change within one game, the entire complexion of the team was like unreal on defense in particular. Anyway, when I went into college, I had just gotten out of cancer, and I'm going there. I'm all messed up. I was actually like a one of these coffee shop intellectual Marxist idiots. I was when going out of high school, because that's all I had. I never had any exposure. A couple of my roommates turned me on to like Ayn Rand and Harry Brown and some libertarian stuff. Blew my mind, totally changed. And I wanted 2 things. I wanted to master grappling, and I wanted to master wealth. And like I said, my dreams were bigger than the Rocky Mountains. I moved the hell out because back then Colorado wasn't quite as cosmopolitan as it is today. I moved out. Nothing. I had nothing. I had no savings. I mean, I was a college student. Worked part-time as a short order cook at this place called the Dark Horse in Boulder. And showed up broke as hell. I had some, and I think I've told these stories before. I was so broke one time. I was in the break room. I had a half hour for lunch. I went and got a $2 special scoop of Chinese food. It was like my one treat that I gave myself, dude. I seriously was poor. All I ate was eggs because that's all I could afford. But I was working out. I needed the protein. Couldn't afford protein powder. Anyway, I got myself this little $2 lunch special. Got halfway through it because I was in such a rush. Looked down. It was full of cockroaches, dead cockroach parts. And dude, I just looked down and I was so disgusted with myself and my situation where I'd gotten, because I had to pick out the body parts and I continued eating it. That's how poor I was, dude. It's just the facts. It's kind of gross, but it is what it is. So long story short, I made a decision that day. I was like, man, I got to figure this out. I got to up my game. I can't be wasting all my time working these minimum wage jobs just to survive. It reignited the disgust in myself and my situation, reignited my passion. Leggy Vetcool says, respect. Thank you, sir. Same with Savage Rob says, I can respect that. Well, I got disgusted, man. Listen, as a coach, I'm a big fan of the reality of disgust. A lot of changes that people don't happen until you hit rock bottom, till you are absolutely freaking disgusted with yourself. And I was. And so that day, I went and I enrolled in grad school. And by the time I was 30, I got my master's degree in financial engineering. And I'll tell you something, that did help me figure out wealth. All of a sudden, before 30, I've got a six-figure salary back in 2002, 2003, when that was a lot of money, probably about a $250,000 salary in today's money after inflation and whatnot, right? Also, by that time, I had toured the United States for a very brief moment after the acquisition of WCW by WWE. I was wrestling for the #2 wrestling promotion in terms of live gate because we were associated with the Vans Warped Tour. I was wrestling in front of tens of thousands of people for the Vans Warped Tour. Incredibly Strange Wrestling was the name of the promotion. I think now Vans works with Game Changer. Game Changer Wrestling has been on the Warped Tour now. Anyway, long story short, by 30, I had toured the United States as a pro wrestler, earned a master's degree in financial mathematics, started earning six figures. Okay. Groove Bricks says, any wrestlers you recommend I should study? I'm going to wrestle for my school next month. Yes. Wade Chalice, dude. He's got a bunch of great stuff on Wrestling Fanatics or scientificwrestling.com. We have all his stuff. That guy will change you and make you into a winner because pinners are winners, right? You could be behind 10 points. You pin the guy, you still win. Anyway, for me, I couldn't even believe it. Here I am accomplishing my dreams. But, I've always had this dream of having the family that I never had growing up because of coming from broken homes, being an only child. I always missed that. And who the hell am I going to model myself after? I think my dad got married and divorced 4 times and my mom twice. And then the countless other relationships. What's up, Marco? Thanks for the #1. They had a killer camp in Windsor at Scientific Wrestling Canada. You guys need to go check that gym out if you're near Detroit or near Ontario anywhere. Best gym. People were like raving after that camp with Scientific Wrestling elite coaches Jesse Mares and Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr. Anyway, so by the time I'm 30, dude, I'm checking shit off my list. I'm really humming, dude. I got a 6-figure job. I'm not even 30. I've got a master's degree. I've toured the United States as a pro wrestler. And in 2003, which was my 30th birthday, I launched Scientific Wrestling. So I started using Scientific Wrestling as a vehicle by which to study and get close proximity to the greatest coaches ever. Billy Robinson, Dick Cardinal, Gene LaBelle, Carl Gotch. Mark Schultz, Wade Chalice, Fujiwara, all these guys, right? Josh Barnett, if I didn't mention. So anyway, dude, that was the beginning. Like a lot of people be like, oh, I made it. I was like, dude, I ain't even started. I started publishing books, right? For me, innovation is a huge, huge thing. You'll see me when I coach somebody or try to help them, in particular, if I see somebody that's innovating, I'm the one pushing that, recognizing it, because it's crucially important, in my opinion, right, to be an innovator. Now, at 33, 3 years later, I invented, marketed, and launched, which went viral, the Mace Bell, and launched this modern, crazy fitness mace movement now that includes, steel mace on it. They just flew me out last year to honor me for creating this. And all the various incarnations, Mace Man, Rick Brown, and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Even bigger than starting scientific wrestling, even bigger than starting the mace movement, the fitness mace movement, and creating the first certification, the first instructional, the first production mace, bigger than all that, I met my amazing wife, partner of 17 years, and we started our family, man. I got 3 kids. None of them are only kids, no, are only children. I got 3 of them. So they got siblings. They remind me every day of how blessed I am. None of them have been in the hospital. Not a single one. Complete. Like as a child, your parents probably rebelled against their parents and the lifestyle they had. Well, and I love my parents. I got a great relationship with my folks. I hope, I don't blame anybody. There's no blame to be had here. I'm just saying I had a rough childhood, and I didn't want that to happen to my kids, and it didn't. And they're not alone. They've got, they go to private school and have all the computers they could want and all that shit, right? Not a day in the hospital. To me, I couldn't find more success than that, but guess what? I wanted more. I wasn't done. So, for literally, you look at my brand, my executive coaching, my business coaching brand, No.1, it has a dual meaning, right? Because I literally went from No.1 to No.1. That's what it means. And I did it bootstrap. Again, I didn't have a trust fund. I came from blue collar origins. I came from almost dying and being alone as a child to being so loved by an incredible family and thriving through 3 different financial crises when other people, okay? So going from No.1 to No.1, it wasn't just ambition, man. Honestly, the majority of it was about resilience, grit, right? Like Muhammad Ali, right? What he said, don't count the days, make the days count. I believed in every moment, every challenge, making every opportunity count. I don't know, like I said, there is some support for the challenges that people face and turning them into high performers. Like a lot of childhood trauma, people turn into high performers. Not all. I mean, some people just end up crumbling under the weight. But something is magical about that. So if you know somebody that's having a hard time, or you remember, it's like what Nietzsche said. And there's a couple phrases that got me through all the hard times. One is that this too shall pass. 2 is that if it doesn't kill me, it makes me stronger. So one came from religion, the other came from an anti-religion guy. But you've got to have grit. You've got to fight. You have to fight. Just never, ever quit. What's up, Stellar Steven? Thanks for the No.1, my friend. Look, I just turned 50 this summer. I can't even believe it, man. I can't believe I'm 50. It's fucked up because I don't even feel like I've even started to make the impact that I want. And I'm running out of time. If we're going to be realistic, man, let's say that I push it because, I had cancer. And so, there's some risks for me as I get older. So let's say I push it, I do everything right, I exercise, I take my vitamin, and I hit 80. That means I got 30 years left, dude. That is like not a lot of time when I've already spent 50 years. I'm on the downhill slope. So it ain't even midlife. I'm like way past midlife. But I'm not even slowing down. Like I grind even harder today. And maybe it's because I'm grateful and I'm blessed and I'm conditioned to it. I'm used to it. But you got it. Like a body at rest tends to stay at rest. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. I've been in motion since I was 16 years old. Before that, actually, God had to nerf me with the cancer for a few years, and I was like right back at it, hard as I ever was. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I could take credit for it. It's just kind of part of who I was. But there were moments where I could have quit. I remember times when I could have just, it crossed my mind and I could have listened to that voice, but I didn't. I always listened to the voice that said fight. It's just this summer, I published 2 books that are going to change the world. I've already published books, best-selling books that have changed the world, but I published 2 more I'm very proud of. Sportify, the first edition in here. I'm going to make this into a series of little booklets to help people in business. Sportify, my whole method on business and leadership and organization and resilience. And it's actually my second fiction book. You guys don't know. I wrote another one under a fake name. Maybe someday, if you're interested, I'll tell you and you can go buy it. It's on Amazon. But so I guess it's technically my first fiction book, even though it's not. Chains of Illusion. Super excited about this book. But I'm on a mission truly to inspire, to transform, to improve the world and the people in it, right? I mean, fantastic. Not just me, my wife. So my wife now I'm so blessed. I would argue to say she is one of the most beautiful women on the planet. I think objectively I could say that. Goofy ass me got one of the most gorgeous knockout wives ever. Just started teaching her own pole fitness classes. She's the CEO of a tech company, a wonderful mother to my 3 kids, 17 years together, and I didn't have a role model. Neither of my parents were able to have a long relationship like that. Blessed. Man. The software company that we run together is truly the buzz of the attractions industry right now. I mean, my kids, my 2 boys just got their brown belts, and they're like 11 and 13. So they're already 2 and 4 years ahead of me. Never a day in the hospital, like so far ahead of me on that one. And anyway, my daughter, 16, just had her first job, is driving. I'm driving her around. I have to drive with her. It's amazing. So guys, look, I'm not saying life ain't hard. What's Morgan? He just piped on here. Let me see what his comment. Sean Strickland, proof of childhood trauma leading to a victorious life. Yeah, what is that phrase? I think it's a Stoic phrase. I think I might have heard Bruce Lee say it. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to thrive in a hard life. And that's really what I've been blessed with. History is filled with these stories. Like I mentioned, Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali and these other guys, right? I mean, think about somebody like Jesse Owens. Defied the odds, man. Broke society, man. Like fought the entire society and the racism, right? All the way from adversity to building an empire, being a legend. We're still talking about him after his death, right? Sugar Ray Robinson. Like these just unbelievable athletes, people, superstars that have done amazing things. Their stories, like mine and like yours should be a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will. Indomitable. You know what that means? Not able to be dominated. not able to be dominated, indomitable will. Silverback, what's up, Morgan? Says, you're kicking ass, man. I'm glad to see life is treating you and your family well, but it came with a lot of perseverance and making the right choices. Yes, sir. You're doing awesome, coach. Glad to know you. Hey, likewise, dude. I see you blowing up. Congratulations on your marriage. Congratulations on your multiple businesses. So you guys don't know, I'm talking to Morgan Guillory. He is our affiliate in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is also the birthplace of one of my mentors. I'm so blessed, man. He was just liking one of I posted on his tweets, billionaire extraordinaire, Grant Cardone. He's Lake Charles is his birthplace, and that's where Morgan lives. I mean, guys, why am I telling you this? I'm not telling you this to have a big party about how awesome I am, or Michael Jordan, or Muhammad Ali, or Grant Cardone, or that's not the purpose. The purpose is for you to start creating your own story. I know I am no different than you. In fact, I know so many people that are greater than me. They're stronger, they're better looking, they're smarter, all kinds of things. But it's inside of you, this will. I don't know how better to describe it. The guts, the grit, the resilience. You've got to fight. You've got to fight, man. Like the Beastie Boys, you got to fight for your right to party or whatever. Okay? It's inside of you. From facing ridiculous challenges as a child to blowing up, to thriving, to rock and rolling as a man, I've learned that truly, if you have passion, if you have resilience, if you have determination, anything is truly possible. I'm just so blessed. I can't even believe it. So if you're out there and you need inspiration, start with this: your story, your journey. That is your power. You have to start embracing challenges. I drive a Dodge Challenger for a reason. I took the DISC assessment, and this particular one gave you these names, and I keep coming up as a Challenger. You've got to embrace challenges. You've got to seek growth. What does growth mean? It means getting bigger than you are now. What are you doing to get bigger than you are now? Right? What are you doing? Are you financially? Are you getting bigger? Are you growing? Wisdom, love, helping people, impact on the world. Are you growing? This is what I'm talking about when I talk about seeking growth. You've got to do it. Okay? So embrace challenges, seek growth. Don't ever, 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 ever give up. Ever. Under no circumstances. Ever. Use your brain. Use your story. Listen, if you ever need help with any of this, know that I'm here for you. That's why I do this. Is why I jump on here. In fact, I got to jump off because I got another client that pays me to do this. So I appreciate you guys. Know that I'm here for you. I'd love to see you guys in person. Get in the room. You can engage with me as a business coach. You can engage with me as an executive coach. You can engage with me as a grappling coach. I am here to help you. I appreciate you guys. Please, your story is your power. Embrace it, share it, inspire others. The true key to all this is the fastest way for you to stop needing help is to help other people. Remember that. The fastest way for you to stop needing help is to stop taking it and start giving help. What's up, Carmen? Peace out, bro. Number one, brother. So next time, let's go. Keep growing, keep striving, and let's always aim for number one. I appreciate you guys. If I can be of help, as ever, hit me up in the DMs. You can email me. You can go to No.1coaching.com. Right there's a calendar link. You can sign up, and I'm happy to meet with anybody for 15 minutes. If I can help you, I will. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful September 11th, and we'll catch you next time.